Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel, and a happy Thanksgiving to all of you here in the U.S. And I guess I'm late on the Canadian Thanksgiving, but if you're Canadian and you had that a couple weeks ago, happy Thanksgiving. This chapter is a little late, obviously, because of the holidays, but we're here to talk about it right now. And before we get to that, just to let you know, like and subscribe for more content. It really helps the channel if you subscribe. And if you're an anime only viewer, you may want to look away because these are manga spoilers. Also, speaking of the anime, today's episode was really, really good. You should all go check it out. It is, I think it posted like 2 hours ago as of this recording. Um, really awesome. The fight between Giovanni and Arthur and Shinra was really good. If you are caught up on the anime, you should go see it. So, anyway, leaving off where we left off last week, Shinra and Arthur were fighting about their love of heroes and knights, and it's basically Ogun to come in between them two and to get them to stop fighting. What's interesting, though, is Arthur and Shinra kind of have a fight. He calls him a devil, which obviously hurts his feelings, and then Arthur just doesn't back down on that and walks away. And I've always had this feeling that Arthur isn't malicious when he calls a devil. I just think Arthur sees the world differently than everybody else. So when Shinra is as close to his devil self as possible, Arthur can see that before everybody else, and he's not being a dick when he's calling Shinra out on that, because he can see the dualistic nature of him. So Ogun invites Shinra to play basketball, and because and by the way, shout out to the commenters last week that pointed out that Yona was the person who took over that kid and started the rumors of Shinra being a matricidal devil. I didn't catch that. If you go back to that chapter, the eyes are Yona's eyes, and I didn't even catch that. And I think that's really cool. So shout out to those commenters who caught that. So, but his propaganda work is working. As soon as Ogun invited Shinra over to play basketball, everybody else is like, no, I'm not doing that. And it just turned to a one-on-one session between Shinra and Ogun. And basically, Shinra, I'm assuming they're not using powers when they're playing basketball. Shinra can't stand up to Ogun one-on-one in basketball. But Ogun points out that basketball is not a one-on-one game. It's a team game. And if one teammate can't do it, then someone else will get the job done. Which then transitions back to the fight between Ogun and Charon. And so Ogun is still getting his butt handed to him by Charon really bad. He gets to the point where I don't even know if Ogun's fully conscious because of the beatdown he's getting. There's a panel where he's in his ultimate form and he's just barely standing. And then, like, even Charon points out, he's like, those flames on your body are the only things keeping you standing. So it's his ultimate power, and it's basically keeping him together. And one of the things I found interesting is, and there's this theme of submission going on here. I don't think Charon wants to hurt anybody, but he will to protect his ideology. And Charon says, all you had to do was sit down and shut up, and you could have lived your last days in peace. Like, he's basically saying, submit, and you can have your, piddly amounts of life left before we end up ultimately destroying you. And it's a counter philosophy, because if you know you're going to die, then what's the point of living your, last 10 minutes or however long it's going to take? I think we're a matter of hours away from the cataclysm at this point in the story. And so as Charon's about to take Ogun out, he does the shonen protagonist thing where he thinks that this is a honorable fight one-on-one, and it turns out that's not the case. And our boy Hinawa shoots him, which is interesting because clearly Charon is not invulnerable. Like, he's not, he's not like Superman or anything like that. It's just that anybody with fire powers he can redirect, but Hinawa uses firearms. And there's only a certain, here's how I look at it. There's only a certain point in time where a second generation can disrupt those, and they would have to have pinpoint accuracy, just like Hinawa, and be aware of the bullet coming after them. Because after the trajectory of when the firearm fires off, that's the point where Hinawa can, he can affect the propulsion of the bullet. And since Charon wasn't paying attention, and also Charon would have to actually change that time before Hinawa did, Hinawa got the jump on him, and he basically took out a giant chunk out of his side. So, but it doesn't look like it's an area. The way the that's drawn, it's quite dramatic. Like it looks like a giant chunk. I would think that's just for dramatic effect. I don't think that Charon's dead per se. They might next chapter, Charon might go out. He may die. I don't know. I don't know if that would be good for the overall story. I think Charon being around as a fatherly guardian, if there is a quote unquote happy ending to Fire Force, is a necessary thing. So Ogun explains to him that the Fire Force, if you can't handle something with one guy, handle it with two. It's the ironclad law of the fire soldier. That's what he says to him. And then Charon is just in disbelief that he took damage. And, if Ogun hadn't been, if he hadn't, when Hinawa shot Charon, he was holding Ogun. So he hadn't held Ogun, Hinawa went for the killing blow. Like, just like that. And then at the last second, you see all the remaining infernals that are risen from Ritsu are destroyed. And it says, "Out of my way, all of you Tinder." And then Dragon shows up. And so now, I think next chapter, Charon's just he's going to be incapacitated. He's, he might be able to help Dragon a little bit, but it's going to be all Dragon and Arthur, unless next chapter we get a flash to Vulcan and Lisa and you versus Giovanni, which would be the biggest tease on the planet, because everybody I know is waiting for this rematch, because Arthur has been training. He's got a new sword. Adola is closer than ever. Like, even before the last pillar raise, like, Arthur had the plasma mantle, and his sword got super big. So everybody is anticipating this fight, and it's going to be so good. I'm hoping it's going to be so good, and I actually can't wait to see these last two fights animated for after today's episode. Every time I watch Fire Force anime, David Production just blows me away. They're such a good studio. They really are. And in succession, once we get, like, we're almost done with the second season. I think there's only 24 episodes. I think today's episode was 22. So I think we get 2 more. And then they're going to probably take another break. And I don't know if they're going to go jump to season 3 immediately, because we're getting near the end of this manga. And by the time let's say they waited till the summer or minimum the spring and late at summertime, if they go for a season 3 that quickly, they could start the season 3, and likely the manga would end during that time. They could end the anime at the same time, similar to what I think the Attack on Titan final season is going to be. I'm pretty sure the final season of Attack on Titan starts in like next month, but the manga is still coming to its end, but it's still going to be going while the anime is going. So who knows? They could take a break for season 3 and do JoJo's part 6, which, I mean, I wouldn't say no to that either, but I don't know. I kind of want them to finish up Fire Force, because Fire Force is so hype. But yeah, so next chapter, either Arthur versus Dragon, or it'll be a little bit of Giovanni and Vulcan, and then Arthur versus Dragon. I'm not sure. Or we could get an Adola arc. Who knows? So, yeah, sorry for the late video, holidays and everything like that. Hope all your Fire Force fans are having a lot of fun with this. Definitely check out today's anime episode. I really found it to be really fun and really good. And yeah, so I will be back to normal Fire Force content on Wednesdays as per normal, probably until Christmas, and then there might be some delays there too. So if you like this video, like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a good one. See ya.